Holy crap, the finale of The Acolyte was last night, and wow, I want to get into it. Hey y'all, my name is Mike Vaughn, and I want to talk about my overall / general thoughts on The Acolyte. Typically, I make these spoiler free, but not in this video, so if you haven't seen the series, watch it and come back, or if you don't really care about that, stick around. Either way, warned you've been. Also, I don't mind respectful debate in the comments, but let's keep it civil. After all, this is just a TV show, and everyone is entitled to, have a different opinion. Before we begin, please consider giving this video a like and subscribe. I do upload daily, and your support means everything to me. Now, back to the video. Okay, so I know this series has been very mixed critically by fans, and I have to say my feelings on the series as a whole is kind of mixed as well. But I want to talk about some things that I really did enjoy about this show. I love the overall mystery of the series, and this was enough to totally have me hooked from the very first episode. And since this is so far removed from just about every familiar Star Wars character, and note I said just about, I was very excited to get new canon and explore new worlds and some familiar ones. And that's what's so fun about Star Wars. It's weird and exciting, it can be a bit odd, and yes, at times even silly, but it still is grounded in real human emotion. This is what great Star Wars is, and I did get all of those things here. Seeing new planets and creatures is so cool, and it makes me feel like a kid again, feeling that joy and wonder from this series. I know I, like many, tend to get jaded in my old age, but I really feel bad for fans that can't feel this good about Star Wars anymore. Don't get me wrong, there are issues with this series, but damned if I didn't get warm, fuzzy feelings when seeing some really creative new elements to this saga. The action is some of the best in Star Wars, period. The lightsaber duels, especially on Brendok, were simply breathtaking. Like, I don't care how much you hate this show, you have to admit that seeing Jedi in their prime go full tilt was awesome. While I do have some issues with the characters, I have to give the actors credit for really doing an excellent job here. The visuals here looked really great and honestly was, I think, pretty top tier as far as Star Wars series go. And I love how things look very rough and ready, which, gave me that Star Wars A New Hope kind of feeling. Thanks to production design, everything looks real and lived in. One of the aspects of this series I thought was most fascinating, at least for me, was the entire through line about the Senate wanting more control over Jedi affairs. It's a really interesting aspect of the world that we don't really see. Yes, in the prequels we see the Senate, but not really in how they handle the Jedi. And I think the Republic and the Senate are totally correct. The Jedi are left unchecked, and that's, I think, a big problem. Like, imagine a police force with no oversight whatsoever. The overall themes of the narrative are also, for the most part, pretty sound. Okay, so as much as I like this series, I did have some issues with it. Now, I don't have an issue with some shows going back to the week-by-week format. However, when you have a brand new Star Wars series, especially one set in an entirely new era in live action, fans should get the most out of their weekly episodes. And with the shorter episodes, it just didn't feel satisfying at times. It doesn't help when some episodes feel kind of like filler. Then you have how they handled the central mystery. Above, I did praise the mystery element, and I stick by that. However, it was a little bit clunky when it really needed to stretch things out. Like Saul almost telling Osha what happened, and then something kept keeping him from finishing what he was about to say, rinse, repeat. And look, I get that you don't want to reveal the entire mystery too soon, but I think there's a better way of spreading things out without making it feel like the classic, when do we get to the fireworks factory? Also, they seem to cleverly imply that May didn't actually start the fire. Yes, we are shown May lighting the book on fire, but initially, we didn't really see her set anything else ablaze. This left me to think that someone else started a fire and framed May, but nope, May just did start the fire, and I think this was a major misstep narratively, and I kind of don't understand the reason for this. To me, May not starting that fire yet taking the heat for it would have made it better from a story perspective. Indeed, there are still questions that are answered, and This is pretty frustrating when we only get 8 episodes, and again, not very long ones at that. The show ends on a cliffhanger, and I wouldn't be surprised if this season 1 and 2 were filmed back to back. Now, I already mentioned spoiler warnings, but definitely spoiler warnings because I'm going to talk about the finale. The final episode, again, could have been longer, but I nearly screamed when I saw Plagueis. It's just for a brief moment. And yes, this was pretty much all but confirmed, but it was really so exciting. And of course, the ending with Yoda was compelling. And again, I really hope this finale guarantees we get at least one more season, because there is a lot of things still dangling, and it would be kind of messed up not to already have a true ending in mind. So this is my feelings summed up on the season. It's a little bit more casual because I've just finished the series like all y'all have, but I overall enjoyed it. But there's some pacing and plot issues.
Wait, before you go, consider checking out some of these videos, and I will see y'all in the next one.